Hello guys, Michael here with another video. So as a man, it's very easy to feel weak towards women we find attractive. It's just what it is. It's so easy to feel like she is the one who have the ball all the time and we are chasing the ball. We have to do things perfectly because she is the queen and the god of the earth. So she can just choose and do whatever she wants, and if there is something that doesn't fit her, something she doesn't like, she can easily just toss it away and move on happily with her life. And many times it feels like we as men don't have that luxury. So we have to be those simps. They are chasing women with the mentality of being weak as well. I get the point. I mean, I believe that it is almost like an epidemic of depressive thinking in most men today in the Western world. Maybe the whole world basically. And I want to talk about that today. I want to talk about what steps and what kind of mindset we can have in order to break off that insecurity and become balanced with women's attractiveness power. Because if you as a man you're just doing your things, you go to work, you go to gym, you have your activities after work, and you just is basically. You basically will stay single forever if you are single, and nothing will go on with you. I mean, you can't just be. However, attractive women, on the other hand, they get attention all over the place. Every man is looking at that beautiful woman and feel something. She can just be. She doesn't have to do much. She can just be and just embrace all those attention she gets. And she can, it looks like it, can just pick and choose and toss and just play around with as many guys as you want because she has that power. And when we see that, obviously we feel like, oh, we are out of her league easily because she can choose anyone. And should I start competing with other guys and have the mindset of me being the most powerful man of all men, or most handsome man, most attractive man? I mean, it's very easy to have that kind of mindset, to always compete. Because in some way, since we are choosing things that are best for us, if we can have access to it. So if you have a lot of money, you want to buy a car, most likely going to buy a car that you find is best for you. If you want to go and buy clothing, you want to buy clothing that fits you best. You see, if you want to buy other things and you have the financial means, you want to just choose the best ones for you. And we feel like it works the same way when it comes to women and men, but it's a completely different thing. It's not even in the same universe, but it is like that, because when we are looking at beautiful women, we feel like, oh, she's so beautiful and she's out of my league and is no way I can get her. But I look at her and I can feel something. She's so beautiful, she's so attractive. I just enjoy looking at her, but being with her, no way. I'm just not in that level. And then we see another woman and we feel the same. Oh, this is the women that I really want to date, but it's just not for me because they are not within my selection. I can't select that. Same way as I cannot buy a Ferrari. I don't have the money. So, I mean, we can just dig our own grave or shoot us in the foot. So how should we think now instead? How can we balance this kind of power that women has with you and your mindset in your life? Well, first of all, it's not as easy as you think. All right. So let's first say what women feel about men in general. All right. Number one, there's a mechanism in her brain that protects her from falling in love with anyone, or, become completely hooked with any guy that just go up to her and give a cheesy smile. All right. And what blocking her from not falling for any guy that seems to have everything, the coolness, the look and everything like that, is her neurotransmitters in the brain. All right. So when she sees beautiful men or men that are successful and so on, her brain doesn't release the neurotransmitters to make her feel in love. They make her feel emotional connection towards him, feel attraction towards him. It doesn't. So over and over again in psychological studies that are linked to interpersonal communication, we have seen that it's not much visually that trigger women's brain. Not much. And it's also not so much of how we act in front of her in terms of tell her a great story, joke for her, making some magic tricks and so on. This also doesn't trigger her much. Her brain is not releasing the neurotransmitters that is linked to attraction, connection, and all those fundamental things that are needed for building relationships. So in some way, female brain are protecting themselves. Yeah, they are protected. So all the men that you see the women get attention from, all of them, most of them, she feel nothing for them. So let's say now that you are the king instead, that can get a lot of women just coming up to you and want you. But all of those women are not attractive. It's only ugly women or unattractive women coming to you. Will you feel like a king? Well, I don't think so, right? I don't think so. And that is exactly how many beautiful women feels. They feel like they get approached, or, a lot of men are looking at them that are not attractive. She feels nothing for them. Even if he's handsome and she knows that this is a good looking guy, she feels nothing for him. And therefore, it's nothing. She's just a real person with a lot of weird beliefs from men looking at her and imagine how her life is. But her life is just pretty ordinary, and she just tired of all the attention from men she doesn't feel attracted to. And what about those men that she feel attracted to, though? Well, all of them basically, as a rule, I'm not talking about the exception of the rule, but as a rule, they have to ignite a conversation that is interesting and attractive. And having those skills as a man is nothing that you can take lightly. No man can take that lightly. You can't, no man. You have to be trained to be able to have great conversations that actually trigger emotional connection that sparks attraction. That more or less is going to make her release those neurotransmitters that are linked to the elements of attraction, connection that is needed for relationship building. All right? It's very important for you to understand that point. So women are not that special as you think, including those that are very attractive and get a lot of male attention. So how can you balance that? Well, now I just told you about the first step, awareness. So get that awareness that women are not as popular as you think they are. It will be a completely different story if all the men that you find really attractive and feel attraction for will come and give her attention. That will be a completely different thing. But it doesn't work that way. Her brain is not attracted to him. So that point is now pretty clear, I guess. Now let's go to the second point, and that is you. All right, you need to overcome your biggest fear, and that is to actually go and engage in a conversation with a beautiful woman. Look her in the eye and start talking to her. All right, don't try to flirt with her. Don't try to be cool and funny with her in the beginning. If you haven't done that before, this is one of the worst things you can do. I guess that your instinct said that, I need to be cool and I need to be, witty and flirtatious, because otherwise I will not be up to her level. Wrong. That is not how you're going to be up to her level. The way you're going to be up to her level, based on you being the average man in looks, you have things going on for you that is pretty average, you have a pretty good work, you can take care of yourself, your hygiene is pretty good, then most of the time you're pretty, set to go. And the element and your approach to make you special for her is actually by using your curiosity to create interesting conversation that will be based on her. That's the key. So you need to overcome your fear of talking to beautiful women, and once you do, you have to have a normal conversation with her. Not a flirtatious one, not a fake one, just a normal conversation. But there is one ingredient that has to be implemented in that normal conversation, and that is curiosity. If you're going to have a normal conversation with anyone and you're going to add curiosity in that conversation, you automatically are going to make it about them. You're going to be the explorer that wants to discover the unknown in her life and her as a person. You see, you want to be the explorer. So now we're going into the foundation of how to act in front of those beautiful women. I know it's scary. It's always scary for the first time when you're going up and going to have a conversation with a very attractive woman. But you have to start there. You have to face that fear. Because if you don't, you will not be able to talk with X amount of women that makes you competent in talking to women and make them feel good and making you feel good, being authentic and genuine. And then you can actually start building something on that. You won't even be in the learning phase if you don't overcome your fear of talking to that first woman, and then the second one and the third one. You have to basically take the first step, all right? But if you know the approach of being curious towards her and give all the attention to her instead of you trying to get attention from her, you're giving your attention instead of taking attention, that might help me tremendously, because I help all my clients I've been teaching this. When I'm telling them that forget about yourself for a while and just make it about her, it becomes so much easier for so many guys out there. It's a game changer. And I want you to take advantage of that to like, you know what, when I'm talking to beautiful women, I'm not going to make it about me. I want to make it about them. It make it so much easier. And you're going to be, a master of asking questions, listening. You're going to be a master of talking about yourself in a very short and concise manner in order to roll the ball over and ask a follow-up question and make sure that you understand the underlying reason of why she's liking something, the underlying reason of why she chose this path, and so on. That is how you're going to overcome the fear of women in general. I've been terrified when it comes to women and beautiful ones. Even very young women or girls that I would never do anything with, obviously, but they were pretty girls in their pretty early age. And I was even scared, terrified, with them as well. I mean, I had a lot of phobia, basically, when it comes to beautiful women, because there was so much in stake and I felt so low, so little, that I was devastated. And thanks to real knowledge, thanks to real science, thanks to me being able to take the first step of actually approaching women and talk with them and be using genuine conversational skills that are backed by science and are really, really effective and make me not only myself and who I am, it actually makes me more me than ever before. So it's not about being yourself, it's about being even more yourself than ever before. Being the curious version of yourself, being the explorer of yourself. And that's just a wonderful thing. And one word that I just love to mention here now is purpose. You're making the interaction with purpose. There is a purpose of the interaction you're having with beautiful women. And therefore, talking to beautiful women becomes way easier. Anyway, guys, I hope this video gave you some great insights, because this is something we have to talk about over and over again. I know it's easy to feel weak. I know it's easy to feel insecure and in some ways nothing fun to talk about. But we have to talk about it because this is the real problem. And it's not only for you, it's for all men out there. We have to stand together and we have to start supporting each other with the right type of information, the right type of approach. And the most beautiful part is that it is a human approach, which also happens to be the optimal one. Anyway, guys, I hope you like this video and I see you in the next one.